Warning, I suck. I flat out suck. Welcome back to the Green Means Go channel. It's your host, me, and I was on top of the world. We climbed our bankroll up 13 units. I thought I was the best home run handicapper this side of the Mississippi. I thought I had it. I thought I had the juice, the mojo, the swag, the knowledge, the edge. We lost 4.5 units yesterday, and I was not having a good afternoon. Not having a good day. And again, it goes back to what am I trying to do with this series? And maybe I'm trying too hard to prove that I'm worth something. I'm trying too hard to prove to strangers on the internet that I can really do this. I'm sharp, you know? Even though at the beginning of every video, I very clearly say, I'm not claiming to have an edge. I'm not claiming to be sharp, but I still am trying to do that. Really just a pathetic showing out of me. Complete failure is where we're at. So again, constantly adjusting, constantly looking myself in the mirror, constantly figuring out how I can make this series work, because after all, I do want this to work and I do want to provide value. But if we're constantly dripping units out of our back end, we're not going to provide any value and nobody's going to want to tune in. Oh, let's watch Green Means Go. He's going to lose 6 units today on home run picks that aren't going to hit. Nobody wants that. We did hit Schwarber and Ozuna yesterday, but we still got crushed. So here's what we're doing today. We're changing it up yet again. We're making 2 small tweaks. And I appreciate your patience. Nothing's changing in the way of picks and things of that nature. But we are making some adjustments. The positives are there's some neutral conditions today. There's a positive condition. And then there's a bunch of negatives, which I'm just laying off. I'm just completely ignoring, because I think what my problem has been is once I decide I want to play 1 or 2 guys in a bad weather, bad situation, I then play 6 guys in that situation because I think, oh, if one of these guys hit, we'll be good. I mean, yesterday, what's worse is watching these games. Like I think 3 of my picks yesterday hit off the wall or warning track. So it's variance. It's brutal. It's tough. And so today we've got some opportunities. So let's talk about them. A couple of things first. The first is that I am wanting to do this for the entirety of the season. I want to see how I do. I don't want to quit. I don't want to give up, even if we trickle backwards. And I think the only way that we can reasonably do that is to maybe knock down our unit size. So we're going to track these going forward until otherwise I decide at 0.1 units. Because 0.25, like you can decide how many units you want to place on these. I wouldn't go over 0.25, but I think for the sake of what we're trying to accomplish, which is can I beat this long term, we need to be as conservative as possible with our bankroll. Now, again, I'll tell you the complete and honest truth. I'm still going to bet the same amount I've been betting, but because it doesn't matter why. But we're going to track it at 0.1. Just let that be an announcement going forward. The second thing is I'm going to start rating these because I think it's more useful to you guys to be able to, instead of looking at a giant list of home runs and saying, what do I do with this? I think it's going to be easier for you to look at the rating and then decide. And I'll explain what these ratings mean in a second. I'm going to track the ratings performance. So I'll have a green, yellow, and a red column where I will tell you how many units we're up in each. And maybe we're up in the yellow more. Maybe we're up in the red. Like, I don't know how it's going to go, but again, I want to adjust and improve. So we'll start the game in Tampa Bay and Atlanta. They're playing in a minor league park. The Angels hit 6 home runs yesterday. Was I on anybody? Of course not. Of course, none of the guys I picked hit them. And Tampa Bay fell short. Tons of warning tracks. Tons of deep shots that didn't go over the fence. I'm going back to Old Faithful or Old Unfaithful. Cameron Meisner, Brandon Lowe, and Aranda. I'm also throwing in Yandy Diaz. Now, my favorite pick of these is Brandon Lowe. So here's how you think about this. If we look at how I do these, I bet based on the 3 Ps, pitcher, park, and price. Think of Green as... Okay, so here's the deal. My plumbing is backed up. Our toilets won't flush, and poop is coming out of the shower. Like, up out of the shower. And so My wife was on the phone with the plumber, and she came up the stairs on the phone, and I don't want to restart the video. So I'm going to finish this real quick, and then I'm going to talk about the poop shower with my wife and probably pay a couple grand to get the poop shower fixed. We need some home runs, guys. So think of red as it meets one of those qualifications, and then it's kind of fringe on the other two. Like at the end of the day, I'm picking guys I think have a good pitching matchup, a good park, and a good price. But think of the colors as a simple way to say, like Brandon Lowe, I love the park, I love the pitching matchup, and I love the price. That's why he's green. Misner, I love the park, I love the price, and the pitching matchup is okay. Albies, I love the matchup-ish. I think the park is fine and the price is fair. Like, that's kind of how I look at all this. So that's where we're at. And you know what? Because I've made this a little bit easy to consume, what I'm going to do today, because I'm now stressed about my poop shower, is I'm going to just cut this off. I'm going to say I'm going to play all of these for 0.1 units. But my favorite picks of the day would be Brandon Lowe, Nathaniel Lowe, Christian Encarnacion Strand, Ellie De La Cruz in the Reds Stadium. I think Bailey Falter is very gettable, and that's why I've chosen a lot of Reds hitters. I've actually chosen 5 Reds hitters. I think it's a really good matchup for the Reds tonight. Starling Marte is playing at the Suda Park in Oakland, another sort of minor league situation, small park. And a lot of the guys that I looked at, like Pete Alonso, Lindor, Mark Vintios, those guys, way too nerfed in terms of odds, like all around plus 300, not touching that. But Starling Marte, I think, is a tremendous price at 9-1. Like, I love the park, I love the matchup, and I love the price. So that's why he's green there. And so, yeah, I'll let you guys do what you need to with this. Look through this. I'm going to call it a little early today so I can figure out my pipes. And hopefully some of these guys can pipe one over the fence. I love you all. We can do this. Stay calm. Trust the process. We got it.